and welcome to round 3 of the SRL GT3 Championship. We're at Bathurst for this season's first endurance race, and it's going to be a good one. Last week, Jerome Adamaco drove through the field to pick up his second win of the season. Do you want to know where he got his first? It was right here at Bathurst. Can he go back-to-back and do it again on the very track where his season-long story began? And it's not just Adamaco with something on the line. For the first time in 10 years, Dion Stahl is leading the championship. Can he keep that consistency alive and add another podium today, or maybe even that elusive first win of the season in his new Aston Martin? Then there's Jensen Randall, who is on track right now doing practice laps, pole position in both races so far this season, but still winless. Today feels like the day all of that could change, or maybe it becomes a real problem for that team and that Ferrari. We're going to find out over the next hour and a half right here at Bathurst, and it's worth mentioning before we start that this is an endurance round, which means bigger points are on the table today. And instead of the top 8 drivers scoring, it's going to be the top 10 drivers today. And the winner today doesn't just take home 10 points, they take home 15. So however this race shakes out, it's going to move the championship more than a normal race would. So let's get into it as the drivers are on track practicing for this one. We'll take you to the field, show you who's all in the race, maybe some new names popping up. But this promises to be a good one. It's a beautiful day here in Bathurst. We will be starting this 12 hours of Bathurst, doing a simulation of one and a half hours. We'll be starting in the dark and moving into the day. Bathurst is a very challenging track. To me, it's probably one of the hardest tracks you can run on. Remember when I used to do this on Project Cars, how difficult that track always was for me. I just think it's because it's so narrow and so tight with walls on either end. There really is no chance for mistake. One mistake puts you in the fence, so I think we're going to have a lot of those troubles today. Have a Porsche off, pulling off onto the side of the track. That's a new one. Oh, and he's going again. Maybe going to set up for a new run. That is the 88, the Porsche there. And that is Mason Cameron from the U.S., a fellow American like myself. Beautiful blue Porsche. And he's out making his practice laps. I do believe I saw Don Reek back there in the Lexus. He might be on the track. It looks like he's got some damage already been into the wall, it looks like, on the left side of that race car. Nicely done through there. But Mason Cameron making his first start of the season. Currently 8th quickest. Kaz Nunez is coming back. You see Yasan Elba over there too, the rookie in the green Lamborghini. And our championship leader, first time in 10 years, Dion Stahl, is out on track right now. I was talking with Sandro before the race about Dion, and he was telling me just how good and talented he is in these GT3 cars. And it shows. He's just very, very consistent driver. And I think he's going to be one to watch today because his stats here at Bathurst are pretty good. He was 3rd last year on the podium, and then he was P2 with the fastest lap in Season 4. So this is arguably one of his best circuits. Oh, he loses. It gets a little loose. Hang on to it. Hang on to her, Dion. He's got it back under control and on the way. Smart young fella. He could be one to watch. Let's see where he comes across the line. He's being scored 11th quickest at the moment. He's starting his lap now. That was his warm-up lap. So if he's got the tires up. Alexei Kovanimi being scored the fastest in the practice session so far in his Lamborghini. Alexei has been quietly just kind of hanging about this season. He's got some top 5 finishes. Hasn't been on the podium yet, but he's been right there, knocking on the door. He's currently the quickest of the cars. Down the mountain he goes. Around the bend. Look at the speed he's carrying through there as he reaches the peak, the highest point on this Bathurst track. Now he begins the descent. Nice and easy. Careful hitting those apexes. Keeping it off the wall. Look how challenging this place is. And he's through. He's coming down the mountain. Now he's going to head into the straight. Looks like a really good lap. He was carrying a ton of speed. Heading up to the crest of the hill. Yeah, he's working on a good one here. This is such a long lap. And these drivers are going to have to do it for an hour and a half. It's going to be a real challenge. Oh, he gets around Nick Van Gelder. Nick Van Gelder kind of got in his way. Oh, he takes out a fence. Another fence. A third fence. Nick Van Gelder kind of got in his way a little bit and held him up. I don't think Dion's going to be happy with that one. Across the line he comes. Put him third. Put him third on the board. There's Nick Van Gelder sits in the kitty litter. As this practice session comes to an end, we'll be heading into qualifying next. There's the fastest car on the racetrack right now. His best lap, 2:05.7. Oh, and he's been in the wall. Man, these drivers are going to have a hard time today. But it is just practice. This is the time where they can find where that edge is. I love the way that race car sounds. That Lamborghini's engine comes whistling through there. Absolutely incredible. So he's the fastest. Don Reek, second quickest right now. With 2:07.1. Jerome Adamaco, last week's winner, sitting on the pit lane in the Ford. He hasn't set a time. Did not run practice. Neither did Herstenhagen, his teammate in the Ford. Tim Wintick going to be back in, our winner from the first race of the season in Kalami. He's back in here. He missed Brands Hatch, but he'll be back on track. So could see a really exciting battle between the 3 Ferraris, Tim Wintick, Jensen Randall, Sandro Dulis, and then you add in Jerome Adamaco in the Ford, and our current points leader Dion Stahl in the Aston Martin. Today could be a fantastic race, especially here in one of the toughest tracks in the world, I dare say, Bathurst, for 1.5 hours. Can you tell I'm excited? I'm getting excited.
Green light, give it all you can.
And qualifying is underway. Jerome Adamaco already out on track. He was the first one to come out in his Ford Mustang, wanting to set the pace early. Mason Kramer is going to be in second. And I think that was Sandro Dulis coming out on pit road behind him. Maybe that was. It was one of the Ferraris. We're watching Jerome Adamaco. Jerome Adamaco won his first career race here at Bathurst last year. He also won last week, coming through the field, starting dead last. believe he said he was making a pizza and missed the opportunity to start. He had to start from the pit lane. Drove through the field, won the race. But he is our defending winner here at Bathurst. He tackled the mountain last year and was able to conquer it. Can he do it again? Nice and tight through there. Lots of speed. That Ford Mustang really galloping through the straightaway. Tim Wintick is out on track as well. Jensen Randall out on track. Don Reek and Herstenhagen sit in the pits. And Adamako has begun his first lap. Mason Cammer back there, the 88, the blue Porsche. We haven't seen him yet this season. Looking forward to seeing how he runs. Most all the cars are on track. Got a pretty tight field. 12 cars today. Wow, look at the speed he had through there. That car was flying around that corner. He's going to the top of the hill now. He begins his descent. The amount of G's you must feel coming through there. Nicely done. So easy to overdrive that and slam the wall. So let's see what kind of pace he can set. And let's see how everybody else responds. Don Reek is back in the pit lane in the Lexus. Here comes Adamako to the start-finish line. And he sets a 2:02. That is much faster than what Alexei Kovanimi did in practice. I believe he was a 2:07 or 2:05. It's a 2:02. That is going to be a tough lap to beat. So Jerome Adamako early with a fast lap. Let's see who else is out on track. We have Herstenhagen and Tim Wintick. Tim Wintick, he's third quickest. He's just now coming across the line to start his qualifying lap. Tim Wintick picked up the first win of the season in dominating fashion. Jensen Randall had the pole, but disappeared right before the race started, and Tim Wintick was able to slot in and take off. So we'll see how he can do. He was not at Brands Hatch. And he is back here and competing at Bathurst, right against the wall. Jensen Randall's already come across the line. He is setting a 2:04. He is going to need at least 2 to 3 tenths of a second. He's going to need a little bit more if he wants to catch Jerome Adamako in the Ford. Jensen Randall has had the pole both races this season. He had the pole at Kalami, got the pole at Brands Hatch, but he has not been able to win yet. Still can't find a way to get the win. Was running really well at Brands Hatch, ran off the track a little bit, allowed Jerome Adamaco to get around him. It was a pretty exciting finish because at the end, Jerome went off the track himself and kind of got damaged, and then Jensen Randall, who pitted, was flying up there but just ran out of time. But he was able to close a 12-second or so gap down to just a little over 3 seconds or so. It's pretty exciting. He comes across the line. He does improve that lap. It's a 2:03. That'll put him third. Tim Wintick second. And Sandro Dulis, he comes across the line, is going to improve that lap just a little bit. 2:03.5. That's good enough to put him third. That knocks Jensen Randall down to fourth. You see our point leader Dion Stahl behind him. He's currently fifth. Any fans of Yassan Alba? Any fans of the new rookie? He is currently being scored in seventh. Sandro on a good lap here. He's 4/10 of a second faster now. Oh, he's been in the fence. Oh my goodness, he has destroyed that Ferrari. Oh, I hate that for Sandro. Kaz Nunez in the Porsche. He's running a 2:09. That's his best. His last was a 2:12. Gonna have to pick it up a lot. He's currently running ninth. Jerome Adamaco is in the pit lane along with Nick Van Gelder. Nick is currently being scored in 10th place, and Don Reek is in the pit lane as well. He's in 11th in the Lexus. The rest of the cars are out on track. I think Mason Camera has had some issues. Yeah, I think that's a bit of a problem there for the Porsche. Dion Stahl goes around him. I think he's had some issues too because he's in the red. They're not going to count this lap. But he'll get into the go. No, he's going to come into the pit lane. He's currently being scored fifth. Alexei Kovanimi, he was the quickest of the cars that ran in the practice session. He's currently being scored in 6th place. His best lap at 2:05. You hear him on the gearbox there, really downshifting. That engine screaming in protest. He's on a good lap. He's picked it up. He's 0.3 of a second faster than his best. Good. That will improve his lap to a 2:04. And he will stay in 6th place. Pit lane's getting busy. Sandro Dulis on pit road as well. Mason Camera coming back out. And Dion Stahl coming back out. They'll slot in behind the Lamborghini as they get those tires warmed up. They probably came in to fix some damage. Both of those cars look like they had been in the wall. And Alexei goes for another lap trying to improve his spot. Jensen Randall has slotted, I think, back into third. Sandro Dulis being scored fourth. As we watch Alexei Kovanimi. Nick Van Gelder, he's been off. He's having a rough start to the day. Every time I see Nick Van Gelder out on track, he's stopped parked up against a wall. A rough start to the day. Maybe he'll get it out of his system now before the race begins. Alexei Kovaniemi working on a really good lap. A little bit of a wiggle there. I think that's going to kill his momentum. Yep, he's starting to fall down the order a little bit here. Yassine Alba, the rookie. He's currently being scored in 7th. Had a really decent start to his SRL GT3 championship last week in Brands Hatch. Started near the front, had a really good start to the race, and then he got tagged from behind, which set him back. But was able to put together a good race for the first time. He's currently running 7th now in that green Lamborghini. Oh, he's gone off. He hit the rumble strip and it just sent the car right into the sand. Got a little aggressive with that and it just booted him. Going to kill his lap. And there's our current pole sitter, looking for his first pole of the season, Jerome Adamaco. Hopefully this time, if he gets the pole, he won't be leaving to go get a pizza and have to start from the pit lane again. Although, watching someone come from the pit lane and having to pass all these cars at a place like Bathurst could be pretty exciting if he was able to do it. He's still improving his time. It's a 2:01, so he's in a league of his own out there. He's fast. He got his first career win in SRL GT3 here at Bathurst last season, so he's the defending winner. He knows his way around this place. I was talking with Sandro, and I was getting some driving tips from him. And I was just like, what does it take to be fast in this? And he was basically just talking about, just being smooth, right? Making sure tire pressures are good, sure, but just being smooth and consistent. And you can tell that here with Jerome. I mean, Jerome is just really, look at him go around this place. Just flies with such a confidence about it. Doesn't put a foot wrong. He hasn't been in the fence. He hasn't been off the track. Just everything he does is just so precise and smooth. I mean, there's not a scratch on that Mustang. Compare that to the Porsche that he's passing now. I mean, you just see why he's so quick here. It just makes it look effortless. Just under 30 seconds to go in qualifying, so if anyone's out there on track, they've got one more lap to try and improve their time. If not, Jerome Adamaco is going to be the pole sitter. Tim Wintick is going to be 2nd. Jensen Randall 3rd. And I believe Sandro Dulis will be 4th. That'll be the top 4 drivers to start this 1.5 hours of Bathurst, the first endurance race of the season. Big points up for grab today. The winner will take home 15 points. The championship could get really exciting after this one. Dion Stahl is our current championship leader. It looks like he's going to qualify perhaps 5th, I believe. This promises to be a good race. So everyone's on their last laps. Jerome already off with a good start. Oof. Hagen, Adamaco's teammate. That Mustang has seen better days. That Mustang is starting to look like John Wick's. Destroyed. Tim Wintick 2nd. He's going to call that lap done. He's happy with 2nd place. Jensen Randall's on the pit lane, so he's happy with 3rd. There's Sandro Dulis trying to give it one more go. He is in the green. Oh, and he's lost the back end. He lost the back end and slammed the fence. As Nunez out there, he's putting up a good lap. He's 6/10 of a second quicker. He's working on something good here. He's ninth. I think that's going to do it for qualifying. I'm going to step away for just a little bit before we get going. Pretty soon, we'll be racing at Bathurst. I want to thank everyone for joining us again here for SRL action. Really appreciate you being here with us. We're going to be starting here in the dark, which is just going to add to the chaos. Jerome Adamako going to be the pole sitter. Trying to go through those mountain areas is already so tough, and then you add in having to do it at night. Gosh, with the lights in your rearview mirror, it's going to be chaos. It's going to be chaos. But we have an hour and a half of racing. Waiting for the cars to go to begin their pace laps. Engines are fired and Jerome Adamako is underway in the Ford Mustang. One pace lap. Justin Randall already warming up those tires. But what a lineup to start the race. Jerome Adamako first, Tim Wintick in second, Jensen Randall third, Sandro Dulas fourth, Dion Stahl fifth, and Alexei Kovanimi 6th. Really, the cream has risen to the top. This is going to be fun. The best GT3 drivers in SRL right up here in the top 5. Big points on the line for this one, too. Man, look how dark it's going to be. Jerome Adamako has pulled over. Something we'll need to look out for today. I've heard that the Fords do not get great gas mileage, and there was some concern about if the fuel would last the race. So we'll have to see what the strategies are going to shake out on this one. cresting the hill up there around the mountain's peak and heading down. I don't think he's got his headlights on. They're lining up double foul now. I just hope they get through there cleanly. That's the thing I'm always so nervous about right now. This is hoping for a clean start. I don't envy these guys the task they're about to undertake. They're coming to the pace lamps now to the Conrad Straight. Getting those tires warmed up, getting those brakes hot. Y'all seen Elbow with another really good qualifying effort for the rookie. He'll be mid-pack. Now they're double foul. Coming into Murray's corner, and then they'll hit the straight. And it'll be lights out here for 1 hour and 30 minutes at Bathurst. It's dark now, but that sun will come up eventually, and we will crown ourselves King of the Mountain. Who is it going to be? Jerome Adamaco going to lead them to green. Green is out, and they are off for 1 hour and 30 minutes. It begins now. Jerome going. Tim Wintick already looking to the inside as they go through Hell's Corner. Jerome Adamaco with a solid lead. All the cars getting through there nice and cleanly. And then they head up the mountain straight toward the mountain. Jerome's leading the way. Tim Wintick second. Jensen Randall third. That's your podium. Here they come now into Griffin's Bend for the very first time. Everybody's still looking like they're getting through there nice and clean. Everybody playing nice. It's a long ways to go. Tim Wintick is all over Adamaco. He's looking for a way to get around, but now is not a good time to pass. Look how they're flying through there. Look at the speed. Jerome's starting to build a little bit of a gap now. Now they're heading down. Heading down the mountain. Down the mountain she comes into the Forest Elbow. I was going to think that if Tim Wintick could have stayed with him a little bit closer, he could have gotten a draft through down the straightaway. He might have had a good chance to try to pass him. And I don't think he was close enough. Jerome trying to run, trying to build a gap, trying to build a lead. Oh, he's gone just a little wide there. Not bad. Sparks flying as he hits the rumble strip. Tim Wintick's closed that gap in just a little bit. And Jerome Adamaco going to lead the first lap as the sun now begins to climb over the mountain, bringing with it the morning. Yes, folks, the hills are alive with the sound of GT3 racing. Back down the mountain straight they go for lap number 2. Alexei Kovanimi being scored 4th. He's gotten around Dion Stahl. Dion Stahl has dropped back to 5th. Alexei Kovanimi was the quickest in practice. calmed down pretty much at the front of the field. Tim Wintick is still right there with Jerome Adamako. He's just waiting for him to make a mistake. Jerome is very fast, but he's also accident prone, I've been told. He's young and still makes those mistakes, but he's very quick. You see the pace. You see the pace he's got with the Ford Mustang. But Tim Wintick staying right there with him. Not going to let him get too far away. Adamako currently holding the best lap of the race. His first lap was a 2:09, considerably slower than what he ran in qualifying. So I imagine that lap will get a lot faster here. He's better through there. He's going to pick up a couple of tenths, maybe a tenth. Jensen Randall's in third. He's starting to fade away just a little bit as they come through the Murray's corner to the straight. I think Sandro Dulis has had some trouble. He's in 10th. He was running third. Excuse me, fourth. I believe he's had an issue. He's fallen back. Yassine Elba also having trouble. He's running in 12th place right now. This was not the start that Sandro was looking for. Tim Wintick won the first season's race at Kalami. Missed Brands Hatch, and he comes back here, and he's still on pace. Chasing Jerome Adamako. They head down the mountain. Those tight, snaking corners. Wall on either side. No room for error. Mason Cameron in the Porsche, making his first start this season. He's currently running in 7th place. Nick Van Gelder has improved. Nick Van Gelder started this race last at the back of the field, and he has stayed on track and has improved his position up to 6th, so he is the most improved of the race so far. Currently setting a really fast lap. He's 2 seconds quicker than his fastest lap of a 2:09.4. So that McLaren running well so far early in the race, but still a long ways to go. Alexei Kovanimi holding 4th. Dion Stahl back there in 5th. I think Dion would like to improve. This is huge for him. There's going to be big points at stake. Bathurst is arguably one of Dion's best racetracks. He's got podium finishes here in the last 2 races of the season. Quietly going about business in 5th place right now in his Aston Martin, chasing down Alexei in the Lamborghini. Jerome Adamako continuing to lead. Tim Wintick in 2nd. Nothing's changed in the podium. Sandro Dulis starting to make his comeback. He's back up to 8th now. Not sure what happened to him. We missed it watching the leaders. But he was running in 4th place when the race started. And then he fell back. And he's starting to work his way back to the front. Working on a really good lap right now. His best is a 2:06.3. He's 0.8 of a second up on that. The sun will be in his eyes pretty soon. Look at that sun starting to come up over the mountain. I think his next car that he needs to pass is about 5 seconds up the road, and that's the Porsche there. You see it in frame. Sandro Doulis is chasing him down. Tim Wintic still keeping up with Jerome Adamaco. He is running the fastest lap of the race for the 202. They're sniffing Yacine Elba. He's just ahead of the leaders, about to go a lap down, so not a great start for the rookie. He was running mid-pack. Looks like he's encountered some trouble. He is currently being shown in 12th place. Right up against that fence. That's incredible. Look at the speed through there. Folks, they are flying around that turn. They reach the crest of the mountain. And now down the mountain they go. Lost a little time through there, just a little bit. He's got it back. Really just waiting for Jerome Adamaco to make a mistake. It is possible. We saw him make a mistake leading the race last week at Brands Hatch. There's Jensen Randall in third. Still looking for that first win of the season. He did not get the pole today, so his streak of poles comes to an end. He did start the season off with 2 poles, but has not been able to convert those into wins. And he's running in third, quietly by himself. Tim Wintic, his teammate, is about 9, almost 10 seconds up the road from him. There's Tim Wintic in the Ferrari. This is a battle for the lead. It's the closest race on track. You see Jensen Randall way back there, just starting the mountain straight as they go into Griffin's corner. Oh, he really closed the gap in that time. He's looking to the outside. Now he's looking to the inside. He really got a good run, Tim Wintic did. He's all over him, and now Jerome is going to have to deal with that lap car of Yacine Alba, the rookie. He goes around to the outside of him. Yacine cuts to the grass. He's going to... Oh, gosh. For a second there, I thought he was going to come back up on track and hit Wintic. I think Wintic thought the same thing because he backed down. He lost a lot of ground through there. Whew! Man, that had me holding my breath. I was about to say, oh my gosh, he's going to come through. He's going to come off the grass and just nail the second place car. Oh my gosh. That made me nervous. That made me nervous. Pretty good battle here. Sandro Doulis, Mason Cameron, Nick Van Gelder. Sandro's trying to get through this. He's much faster than these guys. He's running an 8th. He's trying to get back to 6th. Let's see if he can do it. Mason Cameron right now in the Porsche. He's in his way. This is his first start of the year. Nick Van Gelder leading this race. This race of 3. Nick Van Gelder, like I said, started in the back, and he has worked his way up to 6th. Sandro Doulis looking to the inside of the Porsche. I think the Porsche is going to give it to him. He's going to play nice. Sandro Doulis goes on by. Puts Sandro up to 7th in that Ferrari. His making his comeback run. Oh, off into the dirt a little bit. I think Mason swings low. I think that's going to allow him to get back by. Yep, Sandro made just a little bit of a mistake there. Ran just a little ride coming to the main straight. That allows Nick Van Gelder to get some breathing room between him and these guys racing for position. This is a battle for 7th. We have a car on the pit lane. Hagen is making a pit stop. That car looks like it's seen some trouble. Looks like it's been bit by the mountain. And he's on the pit lane now. Dion Stahl has been able to get around Alexei Kovanimi to move Dion Stahl up to 4th. I think really he's going to want to try to be on the podium today. Yo, Alexei's, ran over the corner there just a little bit. Got into the grass. He saved it. I don't know how he saved that. I imagine he's going to need a change of pants after that one. Jesus. He got up on that curb and about lost it. Man, that's when we just need to take a deep breath after that. Dion Stahl pulling away from him just a little bit. Yeah, I think Dion's going to want to be on the podium today to really capitalize on these double points today. He's our point leader. First time in 10 years. Mason Cameron scrubs the wall there just a little bit. He was starting to catch Nick Van Gelder for 6. Sandro's still back there stalking these two. Nick Van Gelder had kind of a rough race at Brands Hatch. I know he'd like something a little better here today. Oh, Sandro running way right off into the grass. That's going to cost him. He went flying off the corner. Either the brakes weren't working or he forgot where the brakes were, but he went flying off of there, off into the grass. That's going to set him back. It's going to allow Mason Cameron and Nick Van Gelder to get away from him a little bit, and he's going to have to start that attack all over again. There he is. Back up to the lead. No change here. Jerome Adamaco still leading Tim Wintick. Tim Wintick still keeping him right there in his sights, waiting for the young Ford racer to make a mistake. Jerome Adamaco, our defending winner, won here last season. Already a good defense of his title here at Bathurst. Tim Wintick, the defending season champion, running in 2nd. Trying to eat into that point lead that Dion Stahl has been able to acquire. It's still really tight point battle. You see Jerome trying to break his draft a little bit. Swerving left and right. Trying to build a gap over Tim Wintick. And that chase continues. I've just seen that something has happened to Mason Cameron. There he is. Yeah, it looks like he has spun or crashed. A combination of the two. He's coming into the pit lane. He's got a lot of damage to that Porsche. That's going to move Sandro up to 6th. Nick Van Gelder back to 7th. Dion Stahl still hunting Jensen Randall, who's running quietly in 3rd in his Ferrari. These two have been impressive. You know, compared to just what's going on out on track, everybody's kind of been into the fence behind him and everything, but these two right here have just been racing really hard and haven't made a mistake. For 8 laps now. Tim Wintick still holding the fastest lap of the race with a 2:02.3. His last lap was still in the 2:02 range, so he is still running quick laps. Both he and Adamaco. Those Ferraris have a ton of pace. But Tim just cannot seem to get up there and make a pass, but sometimes you just don't need to, especially at a track like this where anything can happen during a lap, and all he needs is Adamaco to make one mistake and he can pounce. The sun is really fully coming up now. That track temp is starting to increase. Let's see how that makes these cars handle. We started in the early morning hours under the dark. Now the sun has come up. There's Sandro Dulis running in 6th. He's chasing down Alexei Kovanimi to get back into the top 5. Alexei about 11 seconds up the road, but Sandro is slowly chipping away at that. Currently running a 2:04. That's his best lap. And he's just slowly starting to chip away so that he can get back into the top 5. I think he'll get back up there. I don't think we've heard the last of Sandro Dulis before this one is over. And there's Jensen Randall running in 3rd in his Ferrari. We go back up front. It's just incredible. 10 laps in the books. And these two are still just all over each other. Tim doing everything he can to try. He looked low there a little bit. He's wanting Jerome to know he's there. Trying to put pressure on him, trying to make him make a mistake. But Jerome is just got blinders on, is not even being intimidated by this. He just keeps putting out great laps, one right after the other. His last a 2:02.5. It's difficult to pass here. Tim's really going to have to just try to follow him as best he can, and then in the back half of the racetrack when they come down the mountain, that's where he can really try to make a move. These two are making it look easy. Again, wonder how the fuel is going to shape out. The Fords don't really get the best fuel mileage. So let's see when he comes into the pits. A couple of cars have already pitted for damage. Mason Kamer, he's already got his pit under control, and Robin Herstenhagen has also pitted in the Ford, also for damage. So a couple of cars already have made their pit stops. And then the rookie, Yassine Elba, in the Lamborghini, is a lap down. I believe he has retired from the race. Nick Van Gelder has also had some trouble. He's fallen back to 9th. He was running in 6th earlier in the event. Here's Herstenhagen. Don Rink, haven't really talked about him much. He's running in 7th. Haven't mentioned him too much this season. He's racing in the Lexus. Alexei Kovanimi, 5th. Dion Stahl just up the road ahead of him. Dion trying to catch Jensen Randall, but Jensen Randall is pretty far ahead. Almost 30 seconds up the road. So Dion Stahl going to need Jensen Randall to make a mistake if he wants to get on the podium. But there is still a long ways to go. In this one, not quite an hour to go. You can see Sandro Dulis is starting to chop into that lead. It was over 10 seconds. It's now down to 7.2 seconds. So Sandro is catching Alexei. And should have him pretty soon. Have to keep an eye on that battle. Here's Nick Van Gelder. Yep, you can see that car's got some damage on the front end, that McLaren. That car has been in the fence. And there's our current point sitter. Our championship leader. First time in 10 years. Racing for Aston Martin, their first season in SRL competition. And it has been a good one. Very consistent driver. He's been in this league longer than anyone else. He's got more starts. He wanted Ferrari. Auditioned for them. Wasn't able to make it. Just missed out. Was 4th quickest out of the 5 drivers that were competing for a seat at Ferrari. He didn't get it. Goes over to Aston Martin. But he's been able to compete with those Ferraris all the same. Been very consistent. Has had podium finishes in all the races so far. And is just 1 spot away from doing that now. Nick Van Gelder's on the pit lane. It's probably for damage. But Dion Stahl, this is one of his best circuits. Finished 3rd here last year and 2nd the year before that after setting the fastest lap. So he's carrying real momentum. He was P2 at Kalami, P4 at Brands Hatch, and running P4 again. There's Sandro. It's down to 4.9 seconds now over Alexei Kovanimi. There he is. Way back there. But getting bigger in Alexei's mirror all the time. Let's go back up front, see what the leaders are up to. Still about the same. It's incredible how they've just been able to maintain that kind of same gap. Tim Wintick's fallen back just a little bit and allowed Jerome to get ahead of him about 0.7 seconds. Just 7/10. But neither one of these guys is willing to relinquish anything. Tim Wintick's not giving up. Just added to his best lap. He's still running the fastest lap, just added to it a little bit. It's a 2:02.1. It looks like, to me, it looks like Tim gains on him a little bit each time through here. So, yeah, this looks to be his best corner. Best section of the track. He gains so much on Jerome, but then Jerome really pulls away from him as they start to head down the mountain. You see he's done it again. He's really closed the gap, only 0.3 of a second now as both cars fly through there. Heading to the crest of the hill. You see Jerome then again starts to pull away. So yeah, coming up the mountain, the Ferrari's got the pace. Going down the mountain, the Mustang has the pace. Got a couple of lap cars ahead of them. That's probably going to be the two Porsches, Kaz Nunez and Mason Kramer. Looks like Kaz is pulling off into the pits. And that Porsche has seen some better days. Mason Kramer making his first start in SRL Season 6. He's running 11th. About to go a lap down to the leaders. Sandro Dulis has caught Alexei Kovanimi. He's only 9/10 of a second behind him. Sandro Dulis needs this to get back into the top 5. I want to watch this because we want to see how Jerome handles this lap car. He's going to be all over the Porsche here in just a moment. Almost gets into the wall. May have touched it. Just lightly brushed it. I mean, they were inches away from it. Both of them. Have to see how he handles the Porsche and if Tim can capitalize on this. This is for the lead of the race. Coming to just 1 hour to go, so 30 minutes complete. He gets around it pretty easily. The Porsche moved out of the way. Very gentlemanly. Tim Wintec got held up just a smidge, and he did run off into the grass. So he loses a bit of distance. And Jerome continues to lead. With 1 hour to go, 30 minutes down. Looks like the Porsche ran wide behind him there, went off track. Let's check on Sandro Dulis and his progress. He has caught Alexei Kovanimi. He needs this for 5th. Let's see that horsepower. Lamborghini versus Ferrari. Sandro still looking for his first win in SRL competition here in GT3. I think he's going to have a good run on Alexei here. He pulls to the inside of him. I think he's going to have him through Hell's Corner. He does. Nice clean pass. Alexei battling back. He got in there a little hot. Alexei puts the crossover on him. Sandro goes back to work. He's drafting him up the mountain straight into Griffin. Now we see how Sandro responds. It's so tough to pass here. You almost don't even want to try it. Around this blind corner. And up the mountain they go. The fastest mountain climbers in the world. Alexi looked like he bobbled just a little bit. Had the back end. Looked like the back end twitched. And looks like Sandro got a little twitchy too. Oh, and Alexi's been in the wall. He's been in the wall up on 2 wheels. He must have looked in the rearview mirror and saw Sandro back there and got in his mind. Alexi's got some damage. Sandro doesn't. That's how fast the mountain can bite. Alexi's still running pretty quick, though. That damage doesn't seem to be affecting him. Sandro's still behind him. Nicely done through there as they head through the chase. Down to Murray's corner. And onto the main stretch. I'll just let you know the Porsche of Mason Comer is back on pit lane. Jerome Adamaco still leads. Tim Wintick second. Jensen Randall third. Dion Stahl is fourth. We're watching the battle for fifth. Sandro's drafting him. He's all over him. He's going to look to the end, to the outside of him. He's going to have the advantage. He gets around him nice and cleanly. Move Sandro up to fifth. Slowly but surely making that comeback. Dion Stahl's 10 seconds up the road from him. See if he can reach fourth. Sandro had a little bit of a mistake that put him behind, but he's had a good drive ever since then, coming up through the field nice and slowly. Still plenty of time. 55 minutes to go in this one. Plenty of time. There's Jensen Randall running in third place. I mentioned again the Porsche of Mason Comer is on pit road. These two continue to battle each other. Lap after lap, it's just so impressive. But the gap has not really changed. They have just been right with each other since the drop of the green. And it remains that way now. The amount of endurance and mental toughness it takes to run these laps, lap after lap, without making a mistake. And they've been at it for over 30 minutes now. Still plenty of time to go. They're not quite done yet. Long ways to go in this one. It truly is impressive. A little bobble there. It's going to allow Tim to pull up to the outside of him. A little bobble there from Adamaco. Nothing crazy. Just had to take a little extra second or two to get the Mustang pointed in the right direction. Allow Tim Wintick to pull up on him and see if he can do anything with the draft here. Don't think he's close enough. I think he wants to be just a little bit closer. But that's what Wintick is going to have to do. He's going to have to wait for Adamaco to make a mistake. Just trying to put the pressure there, stay on him, and not letting Adamaco get a huge lead, not letting him get comfortable. Just keeping the pressure applied. Which one of these two drivers is going to break first? Which one's going to give out in this endurance race? That's what I love about endurance racing. It's not just a test of the machine, it's a test of the driver too. This track is so tough, and that's just, folks, the amount of mental toughness it takes to just run this place lap after lap. And here these two are doing it, chasing each other for 18 laps now. We've got 2 lap cars they're going to have to contend with. That's Hairston Hagen, Adamaco's teammate in the Ford, and Nick Van Gelder running in 9th. We have had some retirements. The rookie Yasin Alba, his second race, goes up in smoke. He's retired from the event. Tim Wintick, he smells the lead. He knows there's a chance. These two lap cars couldn't. Nick Van Gelder goes off and lets them go by. Hagen pulls over too. Goes through the marbles. Those tires aren't going to like that when he gets back on track. Nice. Tim Wintick sniffing low, trying to get underneath his quarter panel. Good sportsmanship from Gelder and Hagen to pull out of the way and let these two race. That was a precarious spot to catch lap traffic. You know, this place, there's places where you kind of want to catch lap traffic, and there's places where you don't. And that was definitely not a place you want to catch lap traffic. It's coming down the mountain. But that is where they caught them. Could not ask for a worst case scenario, but both of them did a really good job of getting out of the way, continuing their battle, but also letting them continue theirs for the lead. Looks like Nick Van Gelder running just a little bit off track. Don Reek and Alexis just out for a nice quiet Saturday stroll, running in 7th. Alexi Covenimi, he's lost touch of Sandro Dula. Sandro Dula about 7 seconds up the road. He's chasing Dion Stahl. Here's Dion Stahl. He's got about an 11-second lead over Sandro. Would love to get around Jensen Randall, get on the podium, but Jensen Randall is pretty far ahead. He's about 30 seconds up the road from Dion Stahl, but Dion Stahl running well. His best lap is the 2:04. He's about 2 seconds off the pace from what the leaders are running. But quietly going about business, and that's what Dion Stahl does. He just quietly goes about it. Very consistent driver. That's how you score points, and that's how you win championships. Consistency. A veteran knows that. Dion Stahl is a veteran. Battle for the lead. I'm going to step away for just a moment and leave it here. We need to start having a conversation about pitting and fuel mileage. I was informed that the Mustangs get horrible fuel mileage. And there was a lot of concern that if a lot of the drivers could make it in this one. So, going to have to keep an eye on what happens there. And maybe Wintick knows that. Wintick in the Ferrari may get better fuel mileage than the Mustang does. Porsche with Mason Commer is back on pit lane. These two still giving chase. We could also talk about tires. They have been racing for quite a while now, over 40 minutes. They've run 21 laps. Those tires have seen some action. So now is when the car's handling starts to go away. Also, the track is changing. The sun's coming out and starting to bathe a lot of the tracks now. A lot of the track now. So it's going to start to heat up. Lots of things at play here. As these two continue to chase one another. Let's check on Sandro and Dion. Sandro has eaten into Dion's lead. He's about 8 seconds behind him. It's a gain of about 2.5 seconds. Something else I was told about Dion is that he's quite the brainiac. Very good at mathematics. Very calculating driver. And I was just talking about fuel mileage, so you gotta wonder, does he have a strategy? Can he outsmart them? Sometimes you just have to outsmart the fox. Very good at math. Aspires to be a race strategist, so we'll see if he's got any strategy tips up his sleeve that can perhaps get him on the podium today. I respect a man good at math. My math ain't too good. My math ain't too good. Was never one for mathematics and arithmetic.
Keep pushing.
More of an artsy type. That's halfway through the race. Gosh, can't believe we're already halfway through. Time flies when you're having fun. This one's been good. Sandro down another second on Dion, so Dion is probably going to have to contend with that Ferrari at some point or the other. Sandro's still not in camera shot as he comes through Forest Elbow. Out there all alone in that Aston Martin. Yeah, I just think the Ferrari's much faster going up the hill than the Mustang is. Don't y'all agree? It does look like he closes in on the most there. I love that shot. It just shows you how fast they're going. They come up on another lap car. That's Kaz Nunez in the Porsche. Porsche not having a great day at the track. The blue flags are out for the Porsche. Tim Wintick smells blood in the water. Kaz won't get out of the way. There he goes. He moves over. He's going to let Adamako go around him. Tim Wintick following the Porsche, trying to get a draft. He's around him. Tucks in behind Adamako. Adamako continuing to lead. Last year's winner here at Bathurst. He's already conquered the mountain once, trying to do it a second time, and for the second week in a row. Trying to win a GT3 race and go back-to-back. First time this season we would have a back-to-back winner. But Wintick's got something to say about it. Wintick isn't going to let him have it easily. Wintick, our series champion last year, and the winner of the first round, a Kalami, did it in dramatic fashion. Just really whooped him that day. So Kaz Nunez, Nick Van Gelder, and Herstenhagen all a lap down. And they're in between third place. Those three cars are in between third place. Jensen Randall. Jensen Randall's about 40 seconds behind this battle. He's the last car on the podium. These two have really just pulled away. These two are so fast. I mean, this was what I was expecting to see. I knew that Tim Wintick was quick, and I knew Jerome was quick, and you know, Tim Wintick wasn't at Brands Hatch, and I just thought, man, when these two finally get on track together, what a battle we're going to see, and it is not disappointed. I mean, two evenly matched Titans just will not concede to one another. And just lap after lap, these two have been perfect. 23 laps now. Half of this race, these two have been like this. Still plenty of time to go, coming up on just 40 minutes. Coming up on 40 minutes. Left in this one. A lot can go wrong. These cars still have yet to pit. Oh, and Tim Wintick's coming into the pits. He's going to make his stop. A little strategy already starting. I like this. I like this. If you continue to follow the leader, you will always follow the leader. You got to do something a little different, and I like this right now, coming into the pit lane. Breaking that cycle and doing something different than Jerome is, because right now he's just been following him since this race started. I like this. He's got the first pit stop. And Tim Wintick is making his stop now. Sandro Dula is still running in 5th. That gap between him and Dion Stahl still about 7 seconds. Tim Wintick still sits on pit lane. Jensen Randall just goes around him. That'll knock Tim down to 3rd. See if Sandro can get up there. See where they come out at. Sandro hasn't made a pit stop either. Neither has Dion Stahl. So Jensen Randall, Tim Wintick, the first of the leaders. Oh, and here comes Sandro now. He's heard his Ferrari teammate is in the pits, and he's like, I want to go in too. So it looks like the Ferraris using a little strategy here. Maybe they have a game plan. Tim Wintick is out of the pits. He cycles out in 3rd. Dion Stahl was not able to catch him. So Dion Stahl remains in 4th place. As Sandro hits the pit lane now. Jensen Randall running in 2nd place now. Nick Van Gelder's off the track over there in the McLaren. Randall easily goes on around him. We'll see if he hits the pit lane this time. Jerome Adamaco still leading. And now Jerome is in the pits. Jerome has hit the pit lane, so all the cars coming in to service their machines. That's going to be Tim Wintick behind him there. So I'm watching this to see if Tim Wintick can jump Jerome Adamaco in the pit lane. Let's see if Jensen Randall pits. Nope, he's going to stay out. He's going to try to acquire the lead here. Jerome is on pit lane. He's on this front stretch. Jensen Randall's going to get him. He still sits there. Tim Wintick. Let's find Tim Wintick. There he is. Can he jump Jerome? He does. Jerome is still on the pit lane. He must be having to put a lot of fuel into that. And now he's off the pit lane. There he is. There's Adamaco way back there. And there's Tim Wintick, who is the proverbial leader of the race at the moment. He's made his pit stop. He is ahead of Adamaco. Jensen Randall, 12 seconds ahead of him, has not made a pit stop yet. And Tim Wintick has jumped him. That's why I love that. I love that strategy of pitting before the leader. Being the first one on pit road. You have to do something different than what the leader is doing. If you continue to follow the leader and pit with him, you will always be behind him. Smart. Brilliant move by Tim Wintick to take the proverbial lead of the race. So Jerome Adamaco drops back to third. He's about 8 seconds behind Tim Wintick. He's got some lap cars in his way too. Herstenhagen, his teammate, and Nick Van Gelder. That's 9th and 10th respectively. Jensen Rando still hasn't made a pit stop. And when he does, Tim Wintick should inherit the lead of the race. Dion Stahl on the pit lane, coming off the pit lane now. He's made his stop. He's 5th. Really thought Sandro would be able to catch him. There's Sandro there. That battle continues. Alexei Kovanimi is in 4th place, but he has not pitted yet. There's Alexei. There's Jensen Randall. Another lap. He's not going to pit. Still remains out there. I don't know. I think he should have pitted. I think this might hurt him. I think this is exactly what Dion Stahl needs to get onto the podium. I think the longer Jensen Randall runs, the worse it's going to get for him. If those cars change tires for sure, which I imagine they did, they're going to be running way faster lap times, and the longer he stays out there, it's only going to get worse. The bleeding is going to get more intense. Sandro Dulis in 6th, still 7 seconds behind Dion Stahl. There's Dion Stahl way up there in the top of the camera frame. At the end of the straight, going through the chase. And now Alexei Kovanimi is on pit lane. That should move Dion Stahl back up to 4th. And Sandro back up to 5th. Alexei stayed out a little long, ran long there. Yep, there goes Dion Stahl around him. Move Dion Stahl back up to 4th place, and then Sandro should take the 5th place spot. Move Alexei back to 6th. That gap maintaining at just 7.3 seconds. Tim Wintick is running in 2nd, but he is most likely going to be the leader when this is all said and done. Jerome Adamaco is 9 seconds behind him. Jensen Randall's in 1st, still hasn't made a pit stop. Tim Wintick right now in a 9-second sandwich. Jensen Randall's about 9 seconds ahead. Jerome 9 seconds behind. Jerome just ran a 2:02. And that's kind of what I was talking about. With these guys right now running in the 2:02s and Jensen Randall running in the 2:05s, when he finally pits, he's gonna lose a lot of time. I just wonder if Jensen Randall's going to fall out of the podium. He might be able to stay in there. It seems like it's been taking around 30 to 40 seconds on the pit lane. And I think Dion Stahl is significantly further back than that. Yeah, Dion Stahl is about... Yeah, he's pretty far behind the leaders. There's Jerome Adamaco. He led the first opening half of the race. He has fallen back to 3rd. Tim Wintick jumping into the pit lane. So he should be 2nd when this all cycles through. He's not really able to shave anything off. It's kind of holding at a 9-second gap between the two of them. These two are very evenly matched. Still running in the 202s. I just can't believe the pace. I cannot believe the pace these two have been able to maintain. I could never. Jensen Randall stays out for another lap. He's really running a long strategy here. Wow, they'll give the fastest lap to Jerome Adamaco. Just ran a 2:01.6. Excellent lap. Jerome is flying in that Mustang, going down the mountain straight. Got all those horses galloping. There's our leader, Jensen Randall, is yet to pit. It might not even matter if he pits or not. Tim Wintick is only 6.3 seconds behind him. Mike could catch him on track. He's going to have to some lap traffic to deal with here. That's Kaz Nunez in the Porsche. He goes around him. Nice and easy. I think Alexei Kovanimi is just ahead of him. That is Alexei. Alexei lost a lot of time on the pit lane running long, and I fear that Jensen Randall, the story is going to be the same. Alexei's been in the wall. Alexei just tagged the wall coming to the forced elbow. The elbow reached out and knocked him one. Gotta watch those elbows. Coming down to just 30 minutes to go in this race. This has really gone by quickly. Time flies when you're having fun. Hope you guys are having fun. This has been a good race. Nice SRL GT3 action. The best GT3 drivers there are when it comes to a set of courses. You know, not for nothing, Jensen Randall has had a good race. But you see there, Tim Wintick is now in camera frame. Cue the Jaws music. He's coming. I don't think it matters if Jensen Randall pits or not. I think he might be losing the lead here momentarily on track. He's got to get around Alexei Kovanimi. Tim Wintick's got to deal with Kaz Nunez in the Porsche. He just got around him. Kaz pulled out of the way for him, so we moved Tim Wintick up there. Now it's only a 3 to 4 second gap now. Alexei Kovanimi running for his life, trying to stay on the lead lap. I heard some tires screeching. I think those were Tim Wintick's tires. There he is. Just coming around the bend. You see him back there. Tim chasing down his Ferrari teammate. Oh, that gap has dropped even more. If I was Jensen Randall, I'd pit now. I wouldn't stay out there too much longer. You risk falling off the podium. Jensen Randall running about 2 seconds slower than the leaders are right now. Let's see if he pits. I think he's going to stay out another lap. Coming to lap number 30 in this 1.5 endurance race. Started in the darkness of morning. The sun is now at its 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Tim Wintick is there. It's less than a second now. Jensen Randall going around Alexei Kovanimi, putting him 1 lap down. Sandro is the next car. There's only 5 cars on the lead lap. But Sandro's about 30 seconds ahead of this. Running in 5th. Dion Stahl is 4th. That battle hasn't changed. They're still chasing one another. The gap remains the same between them. Dion Stahl's best chance to get on the podium is when Jensen Randall finally pits. He's able to pass him in the pit lane. I just wonder if he's got enough gap. I know he's been losing time staying out there, but I just wonder if the gap is good enough to remain on the podium. Jerome Adamako 3rd. He's lost touch a little bit. They've gained about a second on him. Jensen Randall, the back end, just slipped a little bit. He's pushing. You know he is. You know he knows his teammate is back there. He's yet to make a pit stop. There's Tim Wintek now, getting so big in that rearview mirror. Objects in the mirror are closer than they appear. If I was Jensen Randall, I would just pit. Put myself out of my own misery and just get on the pit lane and get it over with. Let's see what he does. They're through the chase. Doesn't look like he's gonna pit. Yep, he's gonna stay out another one. Tim Wintek only dancing around that second now. Second gap between them. Tim Wintek was a second faster than Jensen Randall that lap. I think he can pass him this lap. There's Jerome Adamako back there coming through Hell's Corner as they head down the mountain straight into Griffin. I think Tim Wintek could probably pass him this lap, maybe. It is tough to pass here. Those Ferraris are really good going up the hill. They begin the ascent. Alexei Kovaniemi behind them. He's a lap down. Jerome Adamako is going to have to get around him. We have a 2 Ferrari battle. Yeah, Tim Wintek is there. Holy Christmas, Tim Wintek is there. Bro, I think he's going to have him. Jensen Randall runs off into the dirt. You can't be doing that. I am holding my breath for these dudes, dude. Let's see what he does. Wintek's there. Wintek is there. Just be patient. Let's see if Jensen Randall tries to block. Wintek's looking around. He's letting him know, I'm here, buddy. They come down the hill. I think he's got the advantage. No, he tucks in behind him as they go through the chase. Oh, whoa, he's lost it. Tim Wintek's lost it. Oh, my God, they both do. Oh, my God, Tim Wintek. Jensen Randall's off. I think he got in there way too hot, lost the back end, and around he went. Holy biscuits. Oh, my gosh. I'm without speech. Oh, he lost it. How did he save it, though? He kept going. Nick Van Gelder's on the pit lane, if anyone's interested. Jesus. Oh, my goodness. That allowed Jerome. There's Jerome Adamako. He's right there. He's only 3 seconds behind this. Tim Wintek is like, what the heck happened? I think he got in there, locked up the brakes, and the back end just turned around on him. Oh, this is Bathurst. This is Bathurst, ladies and gentlemen. We're still over 20 minutes to go. Jensen Randall still hasn't pit yet. What's the strategy there? I mean, you got to know he's lost the race. Just what's the strategy there? Wow. That was incredible. Oh, you see the back end coming around. Those tires must be shot in the rear. That car is looking a lot more unstable than before. which either means he's either driving the hell out of it or he's losing grip. Combination of the two. Tim Wintick back off. He's breathing a little bit, trying to get his breath back under control. He's got pressure now from Jerome Adamako. Herstenhagen is on the pit lane. Oh, what a battle. This is fun. These guys have been racing a long time. The mental cracks might be starting to show. But Tim Wintick's coming back on him, though. Jensen Randall stays out for another lap. There's your podium. 1, 2, 3. Can throw a blanket underneath them. Up the mountain straight they go. Ferrari's really good going up the hill. The Mustang's good going down the hill. We've seen that. The battle between Sandro Dulis and Dion Stahl hasn't changed. Dion Stahl still running in 4th in the Aston Martin. And the 3rd Ferrari of Sandro Dulis still running in 5th. This is a battle for the lead. Tim Wintick is gaining on him just slightly. He's not gaining on him as much as he did before. There might be some damage to that car, perhaps. But Jerome is closing the gap. And just like that, Jerome has suddenly been thrust back into this one. All 3 cars coming down the mountain. Through the forced elbow they go. Tim Wintick under a second now. He's got the speed. Just locked those brakes up getting into the chase and just turned it around and took both of them out. Kind of reminded me of Martin Truex Jr. and Jimmy Johnson at the Roval, the first inaugural race on the last lap. Took each other out doing something very similar. Ryan Blaney wins. Could something like that happen? Could the 2 Ferraris take out each other and the Ford Mustang go on by for the win? Jensen Randall has yet to win this season. Started the year off with 2 straight poles. Hasn't capitalized on it. Tim Wintick's already got a win. He's looking to the inside. He's going to have the advantage and he's going to have the lead. Drives on around him much easier this time. Jensen Randall falls back to 2nd. Tim Wintick goes back to the lead, looking for his 2nd win of the year. There's Jerome. Jerome now is going to try to get around Jensen Randall. He's going to have to make this quick so that Tim Wintick doesn't have a chance to get around. I think he tagged the wall there just a little bit. The car looked a little upset. I'm trying to see if there's damage. It looks like there's a little bit of damage there. I think he did get into the wall. I don't know how bad it was. Being shown caution on the racetrack. Alright, it's back to green. See if Adamako can chase down that Ferrari. I don't think he can. I think he's too far back. Jensen Randall still hasn't pitted yet. I think he's the only car that's yet to make a pit stop. Herstenhagen is back on the pit lane. He's been there a lot today. Oh, Jerome's off. Not too bad. Just ran a little wide there. I think I hurt him too much. There's definitely some damage on that car. He's been in the wall. I think everyone but Tim Wintick has been in the wall today. Jensen Randall still staying out. There's Dion Stahl. He's fallen back to 5th, so Sandro has gotten around him. So move Dion Stahl to 5th. Sandro Duelis up to 4th. There's Sandro. Sandro has recovered nicely. He spent all day fighting his way back to 4th. He was 4th when the race started. Had a little bit of a bobble. Fell back to about 10th. And has quietly gone about his business, catching his way all the way back up. He's back up to 4th. Pretty far behind the leaders. But with a chance, depending on what Jensen Randall do, he's got a chance maybe to get on the podium, or at least within striking distance of 3rd place. He's another driver that has really had a good start to the season with some podium finishes in both races, scoring some good points. He's another good point day and perhaps could be the leader of the points. The leader of this championship coming out of this one. So Jerome Adamaco has gotten around Jensen Randall. Jensen Randall runs 3rd. That Ferrari is looking a little beat up, but so is that Mustang. Look at the front end of that thing. It's got some damage. Now Jerome can try and chase down Tim Wintick for the lead. He's got 4 seconds to cut through to get to the Ferrari. There's Jensen Randall pulling off into the pit lane. He's finally going to concede and make his final pit stop of the race with just about 15 minutes remaining in this one. What a race. There's the gap. Tim Wintick is leading, looking for his 2nd win of the season. Jerome also looking for his 2nd win of the season and his 2nd win here at Bathurst. He's running in 2nd. That lead not coming down too much. Jensen Randall has just entered his pit lane. I want to see what Sandro can do with it. Oof. He's pretty far back. He's just now cresting the top of the mountain and heading down the mountain now. He'll be coming down the mountain when he comes, but he's got a bit of a distance to go to catch Jensen Randall. Jensen Randall's still sitting on the pit lane. Let's see where this comes out. Let's see if Sandro will have a chance to at least get within striking distance of 3rd place. I think Sandro is running faster than Jensen Randall, and that his car has less damage than Jensen's does. Through the chase he goes, and Jensen Randall has left the pit lane, so yeah, it's quite a significant gap. About 20-some seconds between the two of them. Don't know if that's within striking distance. With 13 minutes remaining, Sandro might have to settle for 4th place, but it looks like Jensen is going to hang on to 3rd. He has left the pit lane and has completed his stop. All cars have completed their stop. So it's Tim Wintick who maintains a 4.3 second lead over Jerome Adamaco. Jensen Randall is going to be in 3rd place. Sandro Duelis 4th. Dion Stahl, our championship leader heading into the event, will be 5th. This race for more points, Tim Wintick looking for 15 points here. The top 10 drivers are going to be scored. So that's all the drivers left remaining in the race are going to get points. Herstenhagen's going to score points today. He's running in 10th. He'll score a point for his Ford team. Nick Van Gelder is in 9th. Kaz Nunez is 8th. Alexei Kovanimi running in 6th. But Tim Wintick is the leader. I really loved the race that he has put together. ran in second right there behind Jerome Adamaco for the first half of the race. Was very patient, really loved that. Wouldn't let him go, stayed within striking distance, hit pit lane first. Yellow flags were waving through that section there. Didn't see anything out of place. But just stayed right there behind Jerome, pitted, was able to leapfrog him. Had a little bit of a moment with his Ferrari teammate, but he was able to catch him, run him back down and catch him and take the lead. It's coming up on 10 minutes remaining in this one. The virtual time in this one is 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We hit the late afternoon hours after starting in the darkness of morning. What a race it's been. 1 hour, 30 minutes for these drivers. You know they're tired now. This place takes a lot out of you. There's Dion Stahl and Nick Van Gelder just up the road. Dion Stahl in jeopardy of going a lap down to Tim Wintick. Jerome's losing touch. He's fallen back to 5 seconds, so Tim Wintick has got some breathing room, but he's going to have some lap cars to deal with. Haven't seen much drama out of the lap cars today. Yep, there's Nick Van Gelder pulling out of the way. Good sportsmanship. There's Jerome Adamaco. He's needing to push here. He's letting Tim get a little far ahead of him. He still has the purple lap. His last lap was a 2:03. I think Tim is running slightly better than that in the 2:02 range. Started from the pole today. Led the first opening half of this event. As we're just under 10 minutes to go here at Bathurst. There's Sandro Doulis. Yeah, I wanted to see the gap. The gap is 22 seconds to the podium, so yeah, I think Sandro will be settling for a 4th place, which is good. Good points day. Be curious to see where the points shake out with him. He's been very consistent so far. Had trouble on the very opening lap of this race and has spent the rest of the race trying to come back and finally made it back up into the top 4. So excellent drive for Sandro Doulis. Another good run for him. Tim Wintick has gotten around Dion Stahl and put him a lap down. And that gap is growing. It's now 8 seconds back to Adamaco. You can't even see him in the camera shot anymore. Tim Wintick just having to be patient and calm here for these last 7 to 8 minutes. And he can bring home his 2nd win of the season. Trying to defend his GT3 championship, off to a really good start. Didn't run in Brands Hatch, but you know they get the drop. One bad race in this short GT3 season. Be sure to catch us next week here Saturday. As always, for SRL action will be in Monza. I will not be with you. I'll be on vacation. First vacation in 2 years. So I'll miss you guys. Miss the race. But I'll be back. And we'll be getting our Formula One season soon. So be sure to stick around for that. I'm looking forward to some Formula One action. Nick Van Gelder is back on the pit lane. They go around him. There's Hagen in front of the leader. I believe he was coming out of the pits. There's Adamaco. You see that gap. It's about 8 seconds. Everything's kind of calmed down and spread out now. Hagen pulling over and letting the leader go by. Good man. A drive-through penalty just popped up. I didn't catch who it was for in time, but I believe it's for Nick Van Gelder, because Nick Van Gelder was just on the pit lane, so I think he just got a penalty. Nick Van Gelder's troubles continue. Had a lot of trouble last week in Brands Hatch on the pit lane. And I believe he's encountering the same troubles here today. And went through the forced elbow. As Nunez is on pit road in his Porsche. That gap has grown even more. 13 seconds now. I think Jerome Adamaco has had trouble. Yes, it was Nick Van Gelder who got the penalty. There's Jerome. Let's see if there's any oh, there's massive damage to that car. He's been in the wall. Or something of the sort. Oh, Dion Stahl goes off. Runs wide. On the road again, as Willie Nelson would say. Yeah, there's a lot of damage to that Ford Mustang. His last lap was a 209, so definitely trouble for Jerome Adamaco. That's not going to be good. Jensen Randall's pretty far behind this. He's like 71 seconds back, so no trouble really. So it's kind of what happened to him last week. Almost same song, different verse of Brands Hatch, where he has trouble late and just kind of has to limp around the racetrack to the end of the race. He should finish second. Oh, and Dion Stahl tags the wall there through Griffin. Up the hill they go. And Jerome has tagged the wall again, so that handling on that car has really gone away for him. Probably having a tough time driving that one to the finish, but he just has to limp for the last 3 minutes of this one to finish second. Oh man, Dion Stahl really tagged the wall there. Our point leader coming into this one not having a good race. I believe he's gone off into the dirt behind Jerome Adamaco. Yeah, Adamaco just can't even hit the apexes. I just don't think that car is driving really well for him. That gap is growing over 20 seconds now. The drive-through has cleared for car number 93. That's Nick Van Gelder in the McLaren. So he is good to go and continue racing. He's running in ninth, several laps down. Don Reek in the Lexus. Haven't really mentioned anything about him. He's running 7th place all day long today. He's going to score points. He's quietly going about his business. There really doesn't look to be any damage on that car. Just been riding around, making pretty little laps. Alexei Kovanimi. He'll finish 5th. Although Dion Stahl's not too far behind him. Dion Stahl might be able to catch him and finish 5th. Dion Stahl's got some damage to the car and has kind of let a top 5 finish slip away from him a little bit. So that streak of podiums that Dion Stahl has had here at Bathurst is going to be coming to an unfortunate end. And there's Nick Van Gelder. More trouble. More trouble for him. Sandro Dulles going by. There's Dion Stahl. Not the race he wanted. Jensen Randall looks like he's going to finish third, our last rung on the podium, but Tim Wintic. Just under 2 minutes remaining in this one. And he has got a commanding lead over Jerome Adamako. It's almost 30 seconds now. Jerome is in a damaged race car, just trying to limp back to the finish. For all you stat nerds out there, like myself, Jensen Randall and Tim Wintic are actually tied for career wins here in SRL. And it looks like the tiebreaker is going to be coming today. They both have 5 wins apiece.
Leader's on final lap.
Leader is on the final lap. Final lap for Tim Wintic in his Ferrari. He started in second. Chased Jerome Adamako for the first 40 to 50 minutes of this race. He won the race with pit strategy. Was the first to hit pit road. Had to do something different than the leader. If you play follow the leader, you will always follow the leader. He had to break the cycle and do something different, and that's what he did. Car number 11's been issued a penalty. That's the Ford. Jerome Adamako, that's huge. Jerome Adamako has been given a penalty here in the final lap of the race. That might knock him back to third. And that just seals the deal for Tim Wintic. Able to get around Jerome in the pits. Almost wrecked behind his teammate. Kept it going, saved the car. And hasn't put a foot wrong since. Through the forced elbow for the final time in the shade. Last season champion defending his title. Off to a great start. This is his second race that he's run in this season. So far, he's on his way to a perfect record. 2 races and 2 wins through the chase for the final time, heading toward Murray's corner. 2 lap cars in front of him. They're not going to be a problem. Dion Stahl gets out of his way.
The leader has finished the race.
And for the 6th time in his career and the 2nd time this season, Tim Wintic wins at Bathurst. Tim Wintic picks up the win. Oh, Nick Van Gelder losing it right there in the final corner. A little flair for the fans, but Tim Wintic is your winner. The 6th time. He now has more wins than Jensen Randall. And the 2nd time this season, he's 2 for 2. He's been in 2 races, has 2 wins. Good start to the year for Tim Wintic, and exactly the kind of racing you need to complete for a championship. Dion Stahl pulling over. Dion Stahl will finish 7th today, not the race that he wanted, coming in here with the point lead. But Jerome Adamako issued a 60-second penalty, so they'll add that to his time. He finishes 2nd, but I doubt that is where he will be. I think Jensen Randall might be able to pick up and finish 2nd because of that penalty. Oh, and Nick Van Gelder wrecks the leader, wrecks the winner. Terms Tim Wintic. Is that... Did those two have beef, or was that just a mistake? Not really sure. Sandro Dool is going to finish 4th. Jensen Randall came across the line in 3rd. Oh! Hang on to it, man. Just a few more corners. Good run for Sandro. Had to come through the field to get this 4th place finish, so this is a well-deserved 4th place finish for Sandro Doulis. Finishes 4th. Jerome is being scored in 3rd place, so Jensen Randall, I do believe because of that penalty, will pick up. Yep, that's the final finishing order. Tim Wintick gets the win, his 6th career win in SRL, his 2nd of the season. Jensen Randall will finish in 2nd place, so it's a Ferrari 1-2. Jerome Adamaco, because of that penalty, he will fall to 3rd place, but he will be on the podium. So two podium finishes to start the season. Sandro Doulis will be 4th, another good run for him. Alexei Kovanimi 5th, Don Reek was 6th. Dion Stahl finishes in 7th place, 2 laps down. Not the race I was expecting out of him, especially with given his stat record here with all the podium finishes that he has had in the previous 2 seasons. Kaz Nunez finishes 8th in the Porsche. He was 3 laps down. Hairston Hagen 8 laps down in 9th. And then the Porsche of Mason Kamer will finish in 10th place. 27 laps down, he retired, but he will be the last driver to score points. Not scoring points today will be Yasin Alba, the rookie. He finishes in 11th, 37 laps behind, and then Nick Van Gelder has been disqualified from the event. And I wonder if it has something to do with the post-race that we saw where he got into Tim Wintick. I wonder what is going on there. I will try to find out for you folks after this race is over. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one from Bathurst. It was an exciting one for sure. Tim Wintick gets the wins after starting in 2nd place. Nice pit strategy there to leapfrog Jerome Adamaco. Next week we'll be in Monza for more GT3 racing, an hour race there. This was our first endurance race of the season. We still have 2 more to go. That ought to be exciting. Coming up later. I will not be with you next week. Somebody else will, but I will see you back next for some Formula 1 racing action. Thank you so much for watching SLR. Please like and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Take it easy, everyone, and thank you so much for watching. Have a great afternoon.